The Basic Needs Trust Fund of the Caribbean Development Bank recently provided gender sensitization training for 52 persons in the education sector in Grenada. Portfolio Manager of the BNTF, George Yearwood, said building on previous programs, the BNTF continues to mainstream gender considerations in all interventions and at every stage of the project cycle. This heightens awareness of the different situations faced by women, men, boys and girls, and this awareness impacts the design of interventions and their evaluation. As we observe International Women's Day, here are some highlights of the training.
Gender equality is also about who is being left behind because of our socially constructed ideas of what is acceptable for men to do and what is acceptable for women to do. Participating in the training activity, we have teachers, other members of staff, and including members of the PTA Association. I think the training is really just giving everyone an opportunity to look at their own internal biases when it comes to gendered expectations and how do we address those biases and not restrict our children and not, cut their chances of reaching their fullest potential.
For me, if we want to start change, we must target a generation to bring about the change. So I think this is very timely because for me, I'm going to take it back home and talk to my kids so that they have a better understanding.
My most valuable takeaway from today's training was there is a distinct difference between sex and gender. It is a very broad topic that I think, mostly all the schools need. And this is a discussion we as adults need to have on a regular basis.
According to Dr. Maria Ziegler, gender specialist for the BNTF takes a holistic approach to its work by funding infrastructure and capacity development and by addressing the underlying norms and behaviors that affect equal access to the benefits of the latter by women and men, boys and girls. Gender sensitization training, she said, is very important to raise awareness and stimulate the changing of gender stereotypes and harmful gender norms, which affect behaviors and societal expectations, and also equality or inequality in outcomes.
I must indeed say it was very informative. I've learned a lot, and I think a lot of communities need to have sessions like these to inform the public. For parents, have a discussion with your child in relation to gender and sex so that we don't see the same thing repeating in history.
The world is changing. If we want to keep up, our mindset has to change. I'm not saying that it should take away from our core values, but our mindset towards gender biases has to change so that we who are in charge of the future generation, that we can have a better world for them to live in.
I must say this project was mind-blowing. BNTF program project is doing our school, and not only just they're concerned about our school, they're concerned about training us as staff, training us as parents to prepare our children for the next generation.
In the 42 years that it has been established, BNTF has implemented over 3,000 sub-projects, which has directly impacted the lives of more than 3 million men, women and children.